What's up? What's up? What's up?
Hello, all my grinders.
Yeah. Happy Financial Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Financial
AKA Make
Friday.
Money. Yes, Financial Fridays. It's going to be a
Yeah.
good one. It's going to be a good one now. It's going to
They're
be
all good. What you mean it's going to be a good one?
It's a good one. We here. We are making it. We talked about how to do it. Now we get to get into that 20% where people got to start doing that little extra.
Okay.
Don't be in the I'm trying not to lose phase, not in the I'm gonna win phase, and they're gonna go for it. So this
I'm still back on the other one, though, when we say, they all are good.
oh no, they are all good. If they listen to 1 through I think this episode like 30, 35, 50.
So that's me.
I'm like all the episodes are good. You can get some out of each one of them.
That's right. That's right. But this one is going to be, like you say, this is going to be this going to be the one to shake the bushes right now.
Yeah.
But you gotta be a doer of the word, not just a hearer only.
This is where the fun gets in. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's see who we got on there. I see Lady B out there. What's going on, Lady B? Yeah. And so Financial Fridays, there's been some great ones. And did you send me your book outline?
Yeah, I sent you. Hold on, I sent you the book outline. I didn't send you the editorial thing, which I'll be doing that probably Saturday evening. I'll be sending you the completed my portion of the how to make 6 figures.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I got you, Pastor. I got you.
Yeah, we're gonna get that one out, buddy. What day did we say?
I think it was 2 weeks from last week, so I got one more week, and then we're gonna have it out. What, the 15th? Look like the 5th. It looked like it'll be the 15th. Look like we're gonna have it at the publishers by the 15th.
By the 15th. Well, no, if you're gonna give it to me next week, I gotta have a week to put my spin on it too.
Oh, gotcha. And then we'll make it the 22nd. 22nd.
Okay, we have to talk to our social media consultant, and then we'll set a release date. And then we'll start marketing. I was going to bring the cover on the day, but I forgot it. I just remembered. Lady B said, "Hello, grinders. Let's go. Let's go." She like, "Let's go. Let's be about it."
Yes.
Well, listen, these Financial Fridays has been just awesome. I promise you that my life has been changed tremendously. And, I began to reach for some different things. In some of the situations I would normally, just do what I wanted to do. And as a result of being educated on finances, now I'm more strategic. Now Lady B and I, we came up with a plan to pay off her car this year, which is, I think we had like 2 more years on her car. So we're going to pay that off in 9 months. And then we had a plan to pay off 2 credit cards this year. And so, we're being aggressive with it. And, I was going to get me a new truck. But then, after Financial Fridays, I said, okay, since the one I have is paid for, let's just knock out some other stuff. And then I'm going to create this business based on what we've been learning through the entrepreneur workshops. And then I'm going to build some business credit and see if I can get the Denali under the business.
Oh, yeah. Get a nice DSCR loan for the Denali. Yeah, you'll be rolling.
What kind of loan is it?
A DSCR loan.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about. While I watch that 100K double and triple until I get to that millionaire status. Watch out.
That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
I'm looking for some of them buttons. Mr. Brumfield is driving behind the scenes. I think only she get those buttons where you push them and say "Gah, gah." Or the hand claps and all.
Oh yeah. I don't think I got all those yet.
Lady B said, y'all need an editor for a small fee. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We need an editor. And of course, you the top of our list. And so Lady B is going to edit it for a small fee, she said. So she wasn't doing it for free. She don't run a nonprofit organization. So she going for a small fee, but we're talking 6 figures, so we can afford it.
Yes.
Yeah, we can
Small
afford
investments for big results.
What you say?
Small investments gets big results.
Small investments get big results.
Yes.
Well, listen, this Financial Friday here is a good one. They don't even know what that means. You know, that's some of that old time talk there. A good one. A good one. You know, this is a good one.
Oh, yeah.
And they're all good, we know. But this one we're going to be talking about, you know, some ways. Tell us what we're going to be talking about, James.
So this is dedicated to how to make quick money.
Woo! Where my button at?
And I always want people to know that even though I say this is how you make quick money, these are just different avenues. People every day is coming up with new and brighter ways to make a simple buck legally and ethically.
Yeah.
These are just my top 20 that I researched, and I'm like, dude, these are easy for everyone to get started. They come with very little capital, and anyone can do it if they put their mind to doing it.
Okay, let's start right there before we get into them, because throughout the Financial Fridays, we have heard that mindset come up multiple times. And that's very important because, you know, a lot of times we are overwhelmed with, you know, bills or different things or that we desire. And if we're not careful, it robs us of the motivation and excitement to take the risks and reach for something. And so we find ourselves kind of curling up. But that's a mindset thing, you know. And that's why even as a believer, before you can tap into the promises of God, a lot of times people, you know, they accidentally fall into a promise. But not a lot of believers tap into the promises on purpose because they don't have the right mindset. The Bible says we got to renew our mind. And so it's so important that as we share these ways that you can begin to increase your income, get your side hustle going, that you have the right mindset. And so when we talk about mindset, James, what comes to mind when you talk about mindset, having the right mindset?
One of the biggest things that come to mind is determination. And then I think stubbornness also gets like a negative tint on it. But when you come to something that only you can see, so you got a vision, God gave you the vision, only you can see the vision, you got to be determined. And some may say stubborn to achieve what God has told you to achieve. Now, we're not saying do it without gaining knowledge or gaining wisdom. I'm saying that there's hard times. There's going to be some good times. It may be some laughters. You're going to have some upsets. You're going to have some downs. No one said the road is going to be easy. But if you're determined and you know what you're doing it for, then that's how you become successful.
Okay. And then understanding when we talk about mindset, that we get to a place where we understand that it's not about easy. We can't be looking for easy. You know, that's the wrong mindset. That's loseristic. To look for easy. You know, we don't want it easier. We want to be stronger.
Yes.
You know, and so when we are stronger, we make it easier because we're stronger. We don't want it easier before we move. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Lady B, she said Writer's Ease, that's her publishing company. She said Writer Ease at your service. She said you write freely, we edit easily. So so James, I think we better sign that contract on that one, you know. Listen, we got Latrita tuning in with us tonight. How you doing, Latrita? This is going to be a good one tonight. We're going to be talking about some ways that you could begin to increase or get your side hustle on. And Minister Efren also is tuned in with us tonight. And so we're talking about having a right mindset, and the mindset, one of the words that James used is being determined, because a lot of times we have the desire for greater or for increase or prosperity or money or whatever it may be. We have the desire for it, but we don't, a lot of times people don't understand that life is not desire driven. It doesn't really matter how much you desire a thing. Life is choice driven. Yes. And so you have to make the choice to go for it, and it's not just a one choice deal. When you make the choice to go for it, then there's going to be some other choices that you're going to have to make along that path, because you don't know from a pre-knowledge standpoint what challenges that you're going to run into as you going for whatever it is that you're going for. And so it's so important that you understand it's going to always be a matter of the choices that you make. And you have to choose to keep going forward. You have to choose to keep moving forward. Okay. And that's what James is talking about when he says determination. And so it's so important that we be determined to be successful. That is our birthright. According to scripture, he says in 3 John 2, he said, above all, I wish that you would prosper and be in health, even as your soul prosper. And so I hear different people exegete that text in different ways, but hey, I'll take it for face value. You know what I'm saying? And so I ain't mad at nobody. You know what I'm saying? I want to prosper, and I want to be in good health. And so when he said, as your soul prosper, I've learned that your soul is made up of 5 components. And so when he talk about your soul prospering, he's talking about your mind, your will, your imagination, your intellect, and your emotions. And so then when those things move forward, then prosperity moves forward, because any of those things can stop us. All right. Let's see who else we got on, and then let's go ahead and get into this. Latrina says she's looking forward to that. We need some streams of income. Well, you tune into the right place tonight. Because we have, how many we have tonight, James?
We have 20.
20 tonight. And so we're going to get right into them. I see Tiffany. How you doing, Tiffany? Thanks for tuning in to our Financial Fridays. And so tonight we're going to be talking about 20 ways you can get your grind on, 20 ways that you can get your hustle on, 20 ways that you can get some increase, in your life, besides whatever it is that you're doing. So James, give us an intro and let's go ahead and get started.
Okay. Can we go ahead and if we can bring it up on the screen? We can go ahead and get it started. There we go. How y'all doing? This is Rise and Thrive with Dr. Anthony D. Burns and myself, Brother James. Now, Live and Thrive is brought to us by Jericho Church Without Walls, as well as JOJP. Okay, so here we go. Financial Fridays, how to make money quick. Now, the things I want to go over is what is quick money? What are they? And how do you start? How do you get started? So first, what is quick money? Quick money. Yeah, quick money is like a side hustle. It's not necessarily that you got to spend 40 hours a week, but you could spend 5 to 10 hours and then get yourself moving off that. So that's pretty much what quick money is. It's a way to get yourself started easily, as well as be able to produce an income with little to no money down. So that's the biggest thing about quick money is getting started with getting a profit off relatively low amounts of time. That's quick money. And this is all going to be legal. So we're not talking about the robber,
and selling drugs.
We're not talking about
hubcaps.
Yeah. I mean, we're not talking about that type of quick money. We're talking about actually putting the time in and actually learning your craft. And by learning the craft, you are producing money.
So there are legitimate ways that you can make quick money, and a lot of
Yes.
times we're robbed of those opportunities because we put so much in on our regular jobs that when we get off the work, we just kind of crash, if you will. But we have to muster it up a little bit more and understand that as you create these other streams of income, you can have what we Financial Fridays is all about financial freedom.
Yes.
That's the goal of Financial Fridays, is to help people to get to a place of financial freedom where your money is not dictating to you where you go on vacation.
Yes.
And you're able to decide where you want to go on vacation, and then that's where you go, versus looking at how much it costs. You don't have to go to the restaurant and read the menu backwards, see how much the stuff costs, and then you go order what you feel like you can afford. No, we want you to get to a place of financial freedom. And so in order to do that, you can begin to tap into some other avenues of making what we like to call quick money. Talk to us, James.
Yes. So that's why I got changed there. Remember, quick money is not going to be $1 million in 2 days. But if you get $100 in 2 days, then you're making money. You get $50 in 2 days, then you're making money. If you spend 2 hours and you come up with $100, you are making money. It may not be the industry standard, and it may not be what you are imagining. But remember, quick money over time is still stacking your paper. Yeah. So by doing that, you will have money in your pocket.
Yeah, you got to stack that paper, because it's amazing when you stack paper how fast it grows. And a lot of times, because we have the wrong mindset, we look at little money as no money, and then we waste it. But if you take that little money, just like putting money in a jar, I see that change you have on the screen. And so I have a couple of piggy banks that I've built up over time. And, when I come in, I take my change out of my pocket and I put it in my piggy bank, and before you know it, it's filled up, and then I get me another one, and then I just keep doing that. And so a lot of times we don't realize that a little bit stacked up can be a lot.
Yeah. I mean, if you take one of those piggy banks, like back in our day, back in my day, we used to have those big old water jugs. They come off. It's like for fresh water. You plug this out to the machine and you hit the spritz. Mm-hmm. We used to fill those up, and then like when they get full, you got to have like a dolly to get it where you need to go. But when you turn it in for cash, you'll be amazed how you get $500. Like, I got $500. Like, yeah, it's a way of getting things done without you having a hard idea what you're looking for. The same thing true with my piggy bank. I got a small piggy bank and I empty my change out. I do the same thing you do. And you'll be amazed how often that when you do pour all the money out, how many dollars you actually got out of there.
Yeah.
So those are really important for us to do.
Yeah. And so it's all about stacking that paper.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now this is going to be the faster way to do that than just taking the change out of our pocket.
We're going to accelerate that idea.
Yeah. We've been a little more active, and we're going to get it all done.
All right. Let's talk.
Okay. Next, I'm going to tell you how to get started. Now, when it comes to quick money, some people think it takes a lot of stuff to get started. But for the first 10, the biggest things you need to understand is that you need the internet, which you can get that on your phone. Or you need the internet, which you can get on your phone, and you need time. If you got the internet and you got time, most of these items you can do instantly. Whether you're on your phone, a computer, you got internet, you're at McDonald's or Starbucks, you still have internet. So as long as you have those things, you can get a lot of these things accomplished. Mm-hmm. And then that's how you start making quick money.
Okay, so you say you need two things?
Two things. One is internet. Two is time for most of these.
All right.
Now, the third one you may need to be able to drive a car. But for the most part, it'll be just two things, which is the internet and as well as time.
Okay.
everything takes time. Now, the first top 10 did not come. It did not come in right. I don't know how I didn't do that correctly, but let me talk about it. The first 10 is one is freelance writer. It was a lot bigger. Yeah, I'm like it's normally a lot bigger, but it's freelance writer. That's where you write about you write about many different things, like columnists. Those are freelance writers. Number two is a virtual assistant. A lot of the virtual assistant typically goes over to the Indian or the India jobs where they are calling people, they're answering phones, they're building up your resume or they're building up your contact list. That's your virtual assistants, and they're doing all of that for you. The third one is your social media manager, which I actually probably need one, but that person is directly responsible for making sure that you're building up your social media. So if you're really good at that, which some younger people may be more adept than others, that they'll be able to manage they'll be able to manage your Twitter account, your Facebook account, your LinkedIn, your StreamYard, your YouTube. They'll be the managers of that to be able to make sure that they're pushing the right content. This can all be done with internet as well as it can be done with internet and a device to control all of that information. So if you had internet and you had time, you can control that information. Mm-hmm. The next one is the number 4 is online tutor or online tutoring. It's very easy if you're good at a difficult subject, or if you're good at an easy subject. Becoming an online tutor, if you can see my mouse, it is right here. By becoming an online tutor, you now have the ability to help someone become better at their job or at their schooling. Number 5 is a transcriptionist. A transcriptionist is a person who transcribes words that everyone says. So instead of having a computer do it, which may get it wrong, a person can listen to what you're doing, can listen to what you're saying, and they can transcribe that for you. Number 6 is a pet sitting or dog walking. So if you're really good with animals and someone has a dog or a cat or a bird or a parakeet and you like that, you can either pet sit for people, which is pet sitting, where you are walking and looking after their animal, or dog walking, where you are walking around with the animal. Remember, if you have the internet, they can know who you are, and if you have time, you can walk a dog, or if you can just sit down with the animal. Those two things become very useful for a person to do. Number 7 is the one that you do need a vehicle for. It is a delivery driver. So have you heard of something called Uber Eats, Postmate, or a place called Amazon? If you heard of these companies, know that you can be an Uber driver, you can deliver Uber Eats, and you can deliver Postmates. And is an assortment of different companies out there, but you can become a delivery driver. The next 3 are online surveys, market research participants, or like a secret shopper type of thing. That's where they go in, they review what the company is offering, and then they present that to you. The number 9 is a blogger. A blogger is typically the guy who, on all those Reddit posts, they're the guys who do a lot of research, or they just speak their mind and they literally blast out their opinion online. That's a blogger. You can make money off being a blogger. And number 10 is your data entry clerk. That's the person who puts in a lot of your information. So if you think about a bookkeeping, that's be your data entry clerk.
Okay. All right. Now let's go back and look at some of them. I'm looking at my notes. I'm going to have to get some helpers here so I can see. So when you talk about a freelance writer, And so when we talk about a freelance writer, you're talking about someone who writes for somebody else.
Yes, or you writing like a column.
Okay. And so how do you tap into that? You just call the newspaper or the internet news, or everything's so digital now, but they still do have some physical papers and things out. So how do you research to tap into that?
Oh, mine was easy. I Googled it. I Googled freelance writing, and I
Okay.
had several opportunities that came up to freelance write. Um, a lot of stuff was hit on Bing and Google. So when I
Okay.
really wanted to figure out how do I freelance write, I went right up to Google and I typed in freelance writing opportunities.
Okay. And so when
And
you talk about virtual assistant, you know, or when when we look at any one of these things, actually, um, you're saying pretty much the same thing, that a person can Google them, and that's why you need the internet and time, and then you can Google those and find out, um, you know, where those opportunities are.
yes,
Okay. Now, what about the driver part? When you talk about driving for like an Amazon, can you use your own vehicle?
yes. So when it comes to Amazon, particularly, they have their own vehicles that you may have to use or you may need to use. However, Uber Eats, Uber, Lyft, Postmates, they all use their own vehicle, your own vehicle.
Okay.
Like it's guaranteed you will use your own vehicle to do Uber Eats, Postmates, Uber, Lyft, all those are using your own vehicle.
Okay.
And the benefit of those is that you can schedule your own time.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to work 8 hours. You can work 4 hours after you get off work. You can work 3 hours here and there. You schedule what you would like to do with
Okay.
those different entities.
All right. And I was looking at the other ones on the list, and so those are pretty much everything is just a matter of Googling and finding out in our area what's available, and then whatever the qualifications may be, and then pursuing it.
Yes. But the benefit about all of these is that most of these, it doesn't take you to be in the area at all. You just got to be willing to do the work or learn how to do the work effectively.
Hmm.
And then online, you're taking what someone is saying and you're transcribing it.
Okay.
You could do it completely online. You if now the delivery driver and the pet sitter or dog walker, those you have to do physically inside the same city. But a blogger is looking at comments or information and they're making their opinion or critique. Hopefully they're doing it factually, but they could be just talking out the side of their neck.
Okay. Okay.
That's the way. But like data entry, if you like typing a lot, a data entry clerk is a really good job. Data entry is where you put in a plethora of information. Some companies do pay by the portfolio that you are putting in or the documents that you are putting in. Other companies pay by the hour. Some companies will pay by the actual words typed. So it depends on how much you're putting in, and then they're paying you a percentage or a penny or point penny
Hmm.
of how many words you put in.
Okay. And so when you begin to research any of those, do they have, uh, as far as how much time I want to put in, I can still only work however many hours I want to work?
Yes. Now some of them are like time sensitive. Like if you're freelance writing for a column and they need you to have this column done by the end of the week, well then the deadline will be Thursday so they can have it out on Friday.
Okay.
But for your virtual assistant, that could be time sensitive. It doesn't specify if it is or isn't, but if you're working for someone and their hours are 9 to 5 and you're a virtual assistant, you may put in hours of 9 to 12 or
Okay.
1 to 5, but you still be working within that framework of your own time.
Okay.
Your online tutoring. The big thing about online tutoring is that you're putting yourself out there as an expert in that field, and so it's more of a collaboration. The person who needs your service and you who have the service, you will work a timeout, and then you guys will talk.
Okay.
Because you may be in Milwaukee and they may be in California. Well, you have two different time zones, so you have to collaborate on what best works for you.
Okay. All right. Well, those sounds really good. Now I like the delivery driver, but I don't want to deliver food or nothing. And that's why I was asking about Amazon, if you could use your own vehicle. And like if I pulled up at the Amazon place at 5 o'clock in the morning and filled up my truck, and once I delivered everything in my truck, I'm done for the day, and maybe do that 2 days a week or something. And I'm saying that for somebody else, who might be thinking or something like that. You know what I mean? That could be a nice little hustle.
If you want to, if you want to deliver, it'll be Postmates. I do believe Postmates is Postmates, where you could deliver food and things like that. Will be Postmates. I know one of them is mail delivery. So as you put in Google, Amazon Flex, there you go. Amazon Flex, you can use your own vehicle. They had Amazon on there, so I'm like, okay, they had Amazon on the delivery drivers. So yes, you can use your own vehicle.
Okay.
Now I don't know all the stipulations to using your own vehicle, but I do know that you're using your own vehicle to make the deliveries, so that may be a good thing.
All right. And so that was the Amazon Flex.
Yes.
And then Minister Brumfield is the birthday girl today. Happy birthday to Minister Brumfield. Minister Brumfield birthday, y'all give her a shout out. They probably already did. I'm probably the only one on the Lake Show. But Minister Brumfield said you can set up a page on Fiverr to offer services. So that's another way that you could set up a page on Fiverr and offer your services. All right. We hustling today. We hustling. All right.
This is hustling. This is definitely hustling.
and so with that Amazon Flex thing, I guess I just need to Google that and see what you have to do. I'm still thinking you can just roll up and fill up your truck, and then once you has empty your truck, you done for the day. And is that something that you can do when you want to do it, or do you have to sign a contract saying, I'm gonna be there 8 hours every day or whatever?
Well, I don't know the stipulations to how Amazon Flex work.
Mm-hmm.
I do know as a delivery driver, you're setting up your own information.
Okay.
So if you tell Amazon I can only work 4 hours, well, then you're working that 4 hours, because everything that you're doing online is a collaboration, or it's an agreement. If you say I can only deliver 5 packages within Racine, well, guess what? You'll be in Racine delivering packages.
Okay.
If you say I can only deliver in Chicago, they'll send you in Chicago. Trust me, Amazon has enough packages that they can get you moving in the direction, because Amazon has a lot going on and they have a lot of super centers. So I believe Amazon will be the most easiest to work with because of so much volume that they are always utilizing.
Okay.
But you got Uber Eats, Postmates. How about Uber or Lyft? I mean, like, these are all items that somebody could do. If somebody like driving,
right?
Hey, you know what? I could pick up a couple people. Cool. And you download Uber or you download Lyft, and then you do what you need to do in order to get the people and pick them up and drop them off, and then you go on about your day.
All right. Yeah.
It all depends on what you want to do with the time that you have free and available time.
Right. Yeah, because I do know some people who do Uber and Lyft, and they claim that they doing 6 figures a year. And I don't know how many people they picking up and dropping off, but they seem like they can do. They're doing good. Mr. Brumfield, put your Cash App in the chat there. Lady B said, "What's Postmates?"
So Postmates and Uber Eats are pretty much the same company. Well, not the same company. They deal in the same space. They're both a food app delivery service for people.
Okay.
So when I talk about Uber, always I typically try to put in also Lyft. When you say Uber Eats, the competition for Uber Eats is typically Postmates. It's just food apps in which somebody put in, and then you pick up the food, you drop it off at the buyer's house.
Okay.
And then that's Postmates and that's Uber Eats. They both do the same thing, just two different apps.
Okay. And what's the other one? DoorDash.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. DoorDash is nice.
Yeah. And so those are the ones in that area. Latrina said you have to sign up for Amazon Flex, and there is a wait list. Wow. It takes a couple of months once you are off the list. And so you schedule a block of time and they pay you daily. All right. Yeah. All right. That's a good one.
See,
all right. What's our next 10?
Okay. The next 10. See, now I'm going to have to read these stuff.
Okay. Come on. Let's do it.
Okay. The first one is an Airbnb host. Whether you have a room or a property, if you have a spare room or a property, you can host an Airbnb. That takes nothing. If you already have a property or you already have a room, you can host Airbnb. It's an easy way to get people into your area.
Hold on. I just read it in the comment. Mr. Pfeiffer said, "Did somebody say DoorDash?" I'm here because she do DoorDash on the side, So
DoorDash is hot. I'm telling you, DoorDash is hot. If you doing DoorDash, that's a nice come up.
Yeah. So I see Mr. Bumpet put her Cash App in there. $1 $1SD Brumfield.
Yes.
Is her birthday today. So for those who can, will, hit that Cash App. All right. And I'll do it at some point. I'm gonna hit it. But let's go back to the Airbnb host.
Yes. So if you're hosting an Airbnb, you want to make sure that your Airbnb, like Virgo or Airbnb, they have stipulations in which they want you to do. You got to register, follow their guidelines, and then you just start hosting. It's actually fairly simple to get yourself started and to get yourself hosting. The thing that you may run into is getting people, because if people don't know who you are or getting your name out there, remember, you'll have no reviews, no stars, so no one will know your quality of your work. But through time, and that's how everything works, through time, people will come, they'll visit your one room or they'll visit your property, and then they'll make themselves accountable after that. And then as long as everything works out, you'll start making money.
All right. I mean, that's fair enough. All right. Now, you hear a lot of different things about the, Airbnb or different things, when it comes to people trashing your property and having wild parties and stuff like that. But I'm sure that's not the norm.
No. Remember, these are short-term rentals, and no one comes into a spot to lose money.
Right.
However, there are times where people are negligible. Mm-hmm. And then that has its own course of action.
So with an Airbnb, do you need to find you you have to find your property on the beach somewhere, or because Milwaukee, during this time of the year, I don't know if that's a place you. I mean, I live in Milwaukee, so I'm not putting it down. I'm just saying, if you're looking for an Airbnb, will Milwaukee be the place to go? I'm sure there's some here, though.
Woo. What I'm telling you is that every part of the town that has somebody living there, you can put an Airbnb there. Because if people are living there, if you don't see fire and brimstones coming out of the sky, then it may not be always a bad neighborhood.
Okay.
especially when you got the Milwaukee, you got the Pfizer Forum, which is downtown. So if you're like a mile away, it may be a good idea. If you're 2 miles away, you may have to charge something cheaper. If it's quick to the highway, things like that. These are all ideas that can help somebody get to where they need to get to.
Okay.
So if you say, "Hey, I got an Airbnb," however, is in a different part of town. Well, you may have to rent a room, or you can rent the whole property out. All of these things are options, and you don't know until you try, because you don't know who may stay there. Remember, we still got the RNC that's happening this year, so, and they're trying to find hotel stays. So renting a room out may not be a bad idea, or renting out a property. They're going to the presidential convention. You still have Summerfest coming, Harley Fest.
All right.
So Airbnbs, don't rule out Airbnbs just because your house or property may not be in the most fashionable part of town. Remember, all it takes is a couple people to say yes, and then if you get a couple 5-star reviews, more people will come because they see that you are hospitable. And even though you're in a less than desirable area, once they stay there, they'll be like, "Oh, okay, it's fine. Everybody was nice to me."
Okay. All right. So Minister Brumfield said, "I'm a door dasher every now and then. It really quick money daily." All right. And Lady Burns said, "I didn't know that. I didn't either." And then Mr. Pfeiffer was listing what you were just saying, right? The Harley Fest and the presidential convention, Summerfest. Are hot times for Airbnbs. All right. Okay.
Yeah, you wanna make sure that if you do the Airbnb, you get in early. And also, I think most of this is already being broadcast on the Airbnb website. Like the hotels are saying, "Hey, we're full," but you got an Airbnb down the street that said, "No, we're not full. We can take you." Think about your Bucks. Your Bucks are still champions, and now we have Damian Lillard came in. You still got Giannis Antetokounmpo. You still got a championship caliber team going into the finals. People really like basketball here in Milwaukee. Okay. So those things are good. You got the Brewers Stadium. The Brewers are decent every single year. A couple years back, they actually won the National, I believe. So those things still bring in people. So an Airbnb isn't off the table. You just got to make sure that you market it correctly or try to keep it within reason.
Okay. All right. Okay. So what else we got there?
Number 2, just the second one, is affiliate marketing. Now, you have seen this on a lot of YouTubes. You've seen this on a lot of LinkedIn. This is not just for those who have 1 million plus followers or 100,000 followers. This is for anybody. Affiliate marketing allows you to grab another product and post it in all of your services. So you can post a cup you get from Amazon. You can post that in Amazon at a higher price. You can post it in YouTube, LinkedIn. You can post it on eBay, and vice versa. Affiliate marketing allows you to get a piece of the pie because you're marketing it to other people. Because they may not know an unknown company, but they know Dr. Burns from Jericho. So now you're affiliated marketing. You saying, "Hey, buy this shaker from this website," and then that's how you get a piece of the pie when they start selling things.
Okay.
So affiliate marketing is not for the millionaires; it's for everybody.
All right. That's interesting. And so then, I'll promote their product, and they're give me a kickback.
Yes.
And so is that what they be doing on TikTok? When you see on TikTok, they be promoting different products and saying, "Hit the link below."
Yeah. When you hit the link below, remember the link below goes to the website, but it also has like a coupon code in it that lets that website know that they came from you.
Okay.
If you ever see somebody that does a video or a stream and they say, "This is brought to you by such and such," if you get this, click the link below and you can get your first free such and such for free or 50% off.
Okay.
That link lets the company know that they came to your website to get the item. That allows everyone to get a piece of the pie. So instead of spending $8.9 billion on marketing, they're using all that money to actually give it to people who are crediting themselves with pushing the product.
Okay. All right, no, that sounds good. They starting business in chat now. So Dr. Bonds tuned in with us tonight. How you doing, Dr. Bond? Mr. Brumfield got Lady B signed up on Fiverr doing editing, and Lady B is I know she's not. She talking about she thought about it. Thought about what, door dashing, or thought about Fiverr? All right, so yeah, that's very interesting though, and those are some good ideas when we talk about making some quick money, and especially being able to designate your time and being able to do it within the time that that you allot for it. And like you're saying, it's not millions, but it's quick money and it adds up, you know,
Yes.
and especially those areas that are in your flow, that like you said, when we talked about driving, if you like driving, then, it ain't like you really working.
Correct.
You
Yes.
know what I mean? And so those different areas there. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And let me see. Okay, Lady B, I see you. Just wanted to clarify. So I didn't know that. I see them do that on TikTok with the affiliate marketing, but I didn't know that's what that was. And so that's pretty good there as well. And so
I don't worry. I got one that I know that you will like.
okay, all right,
And I'm gonna get to it in about four more episodes. You're gonna hear me say it. And you're like, oh, I can do that one. I'm like, yes, that's
okay,
exactly
all
what
right,
I was thinking about when I wrote this one down.
all right,
So let's get through it. One is a social media influencer. Typically, that goes on platforms like Instagram or TikTok, but that's not the only platforms. LinkedIn has influencers on it. So do YouTube has influencers on it. YouTube is probably the biggest one right now. They have the most influencers on it.
Mm-hmm.
However, Instagram or TikTok are the newer ones coming onto the scene. YouTube has been around for a while. An influencer is somebody who brings in people to talk about an item or to show a product. So when you talk about social media influencer, remember everyone starts off with 0 people following them.
Mm-hmm.
It's just they produce enough content to have more people engaged, and then that in turn produces more people to follow them, which engage gets more people. So it's a building item. The next one is the eBay and Amazon seller. So if you build and sell items, so let's say you're a woodworker and you got these really good plaques that you can build and they're 100% pristine, you may want to sell those on eBay or Amazon. By being an online salesperson, an online seller, you're not doing anything outside of your wheelhouse. You're just selling some items that you think are unique or represent you.
Okay.
So that's the big thing about selling online. Let's say you're a comic book collector. If you're a comic book collector, you can sell those online once you get out of the comic book collecting, because some comic books cost a lot, some of them don't, depend on how they status. It's a card game that I just can't think about right now, but a lot of people buy these online. They buy different cards online, baseball cards, football cards, basketball trading cards. There you go. Mm-hmm. You can buy those things online through Amazon and eBay, as well as sell them on Amazon and eBay. Mm-hmm. The next one, number 5, is a virtual event planner. This is for people who are really good at setting things up and fulfilling that entire process. So if you're really good at talking on the phone and you're really good at telling people what to do, a virtual event planner may be something that you can do, like a side hustle.
Okay.
With a virtual event planner, you're collecting a lot of information and you're doing all the logistical functions that I would be doing as a property manager. You're doing it as an event planner. Okay. And everything is done typically on the phone, online, and then you may or may not have to show up in person. It doesn't specify, but you are putting everything in place for people.
Okay, so then event planner. I never did understand a lot of those things when we talk about virtual, um, you know, assistants and virtual planners and things of that sort. You know, I guess I gotta come up, you
Yeah.
know, come up into the new world because I still, you know, even when it comes to meetings and stuff like that, there are sometimes I enjoy a Zoom, but most of the time I rather you see you in person.
Now, both things still work. So let's say you have a virtual event planner and you may tell the person, hey, for the event, I want to see you physically there. So they may set up, let's say you was doing an auto show.
Mm-hmm.
They'll call all your vendors, they'll get everything there. They'll call the construction team, they'll call the breakdown crew, the beginning crew, they'll pull all the permits and they'll put everything in place for you. And
Okay.
then you'll say, hey, I want to make sure I see you physically. And then
Okay.
that's just something that you have to work out with your virtual event planner.
Mm-hmm. All
Okay.
right, I get that. You know. Yeah, and I can see how that will work too, because those are things you really don't need to see a person in person. You just need those things handled.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like having a virtual assistant outside of your computer. Sometimes
Okay.
you need to have somebody you can talk to and say, hey, where am I?
Right.
Okay, sir, here you go. We just updated your phone. This is where you at. This is what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be moving here.
Okay.
And as you get more popular, then you have an actual physical assistant who's actually directing you on where to go, how to get there. You got your driver set up, and then you're moving in that direction. And
Okay.
that's because as we grow and we become more busy, you want to have someone driving you so someone else can be prepping you on what you're supposed to say on the next event.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps your life smooth. It does. It keeps your life a lot smoother when you have assistants to help you get from point A to point B.
Right. Right. I do agree with that, and I do get that too, because it's so important, especially if you're going to move forward, that you have somebody. If that's not your lane, that you have somebody operating in that lane, so that you don't spend a lot of time doing something that you're really not good at. You
Yeah.
know, and somebody else can probably do it quicker and more efficient. You know what I mean? And more effective than you can. You know.
Yeah. There's no problem with saying I'm good at this and I'm not good at that. There's no problem. For the most part, it benefits you to know what you are good at versus trying to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
If you're really good at startup, but you're not good at finishing, then it's okay to say I'm not good at finishing, but getting the people in place to finish things off.
Right. Right.
Some
Right.
people are good with ideas, they're not good with execution. So you got to get the
Mm-hmm.
right person in place to execute your ideas,
Right.
and they can bounce things off of you. Hey, you're being unrealistic right now. This is the best that we can do with the situation we're in. Okay, cool. How do we still get there? Well, you got to do such and such, and then this grows that. So those things always come together. That's why your best book writer isn't always your best seller. Your best seller is typically your best marketer. Your best book writer is typically not your best marketer. So
Okay.
that's the difference between the two.
So you talking about me?
I didn't say no.
I think you talk about me on the slide. You just, you came around the back door and gave me a little side hook. Yeah, well, I agree with that. That's me. I love to write the books, but putting them on Amazon and market them and that part right there, that's that's really my lane right there. But I feel a lot of times I need to learn it. But I've always remembered somebody told me when I first started 30 years ago, hire to your weakness,
Yes.
and so being able to do that, just let me use your black card for maybe 6 months. I think I could get everything together.
I mean, even me, like I take tons of direction. I mean, as good as I am, there are things that I'm weak on. There's a lot of stuff I'm weak on. But the things that I'm good at, I shine in my goodness.
Right.
But there are things that I'm weak on, and I can tell you a secret. It's crazy stuff that happened to me, and it just depends on somebody just to say something like, "Hey, you missed her birthday. Hey, you got that wrong. Hey, pick up that. You need to grab this," and I will be oblivious. It's things that I missed along the way, but it's good to have other people there who their strong suit may not be logistics. Their strong
Okay.
suit may be attention to detail in the minute things,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because there's people who can pick out those things, or
Right.
something may be aesthetically pleasing and be like, oh, okay, I know what looks right.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you, okay, just make it all one color. They may, and somebody else may come in and say, I like the fact you want to do that, but it's too sterile. We need to have color. Put a little red in this.
Right.
And those people, I'll be like, I'm gonna just listen to you because I'm not good at these things. I know what works. I'm just not good at this. So it's always good to hire towards your weaknesses.
Okay. All right. All right. Good. Good. We're getting through them.
Oh yeah. The next one is website design. Now,
Mhm.
this is a service that is not as common in the US because there's so many outside the country website designers. So if you wanted to create a website, there's a ton of people. I mean, it's a worldwide phenomenon that if you need to create a website, you can go to almost any country and create a website. If you only want to deal with people who are in Ghana or the West Ivory Coast, they have website designers. If you only want to deal with people in Canada, they have website designers.
Okay.
If you want to deal with Mexicans, then they have website designers. If you
Mhm.
only want to deal with the United States people on the East, West, Central, or the nation, they have website designers. Everybody in every country has a website designer, and it's completely virtual. So if you are really good at your craft and you know what, and you can communicate that very well, you could be a website designer today. It is a very big market, though. So when I say the market is stacked, when I looked it up online, it is stacked. It is stacked with a lot of people being website designers. So do what you got to do to get yourself to pop yourself up above the others, so you can get to where you need to be.
Yeah. So that means that when it comes to excellence and efficiency and effectiveness, that you would really have to stand out. You know, you couldn't just be just the average Joe or Jane, because you'll get lost in you know, the crowd of those who are doing that, because that's what most people want. You know, I know that's what I'm looking for. I want it done in excellence, but I also want it to be effective. I don't want to just be, something that's just out there. And then I want it to be efficient in such a way that, I'm not going to be spending a whole lot of money for something that, and so, yeah, so you have to make sure, because the market is full of people like that, you have to make sure that you stand out.
Yeah, so that's a really big thing. I just want to point that out. When I was researching website designer, I'm like, well, how big is this market? No, it's huge. It is a huge market and it's brimming at the rim. And you're going to be fighting no matter what country you go to. So no matter what country you choose that you would like to get a website designer from, it is packed with a lot of people being efficient or claiming to be good at website designs.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have full band companies out there doing it as well. So you can get your price range from anywhere. When I say your price range is anywhere, it could be anywhere to do as much stuff or as little stuff as you want it to do as a website designer.
Okay. And Mr. Pfeiffer said that getting a designer outside the country, that you better have an editor or a proofreader. And so when you're dealing with people outside of the country, and so, I don't know, totally about that. But I can imagine language barriers and cultures and different things like that could play a part in it,
Yes, because we have things like America is known for its difficulty in language. And on top of that, we have jargon. Different regions of America by itself have different jargons for the same thing. Mm-hmm. And then we have different slang words that play a part in our website design, but it doesn't translate well.
Okay. And then the next one I think is one that I'm interested in. I don't know if those are the ones Lady B and I was looking for, but
that's the one I was talking about. Remember, 4 Down. That's it.
Oh, that's the one right there.
That's the one. That's the one.
Talk to me.
So it's an online course creator.
Mm-hmm.
So you're using a plethora of platforms. Some of the most popular ones are Teachable and Udemy.
Okay.
The reason why that's so popular is because you have the ability to do what you love to do, and you can actually produce a whole course on content for that one area. So if you said, I want to teach everybody how to be a pastor, you can produce an entire course on how it is to be a pastor. It could be literally a college level course, a school age course, a high school course. It could be a basic course for a local pastor, or a grand course for a bishop, an elder, a senior. You have tons of opportunity at this. So when I read up on this, I'm like, you know what? Pastor Burns will love this. I know he would probably be able to do this in his sleep. He wrote 13 books in like 2 weeks. I know he can.
Oh yeah, most definitely. That's my lane there. And Lady B has been pushing me for the last 2 years to get started with that. And I believe Dr. Bonds also have been pushing me to get started in that. And so I told, I don't know if I don't remember the exact conversation, but I kind of committed to really following up on that this year and putting that into play, because that is something that I can do very, very easily.
Yes.
Lady B said, I'm not familiar with those two, but same thing we were talking about. Okay, so those weren't the two we were talking about, but those are the same thing. So, so I'm gonna look into Teachable and Udemy.
Now remember, like I said, you can Google and say, how do I become an online course creator? Remember, you're a pastor of a church. So there's many things in which you personally have gone through, and like, how do I motivate? How do I lead? How do I go through difficult situations? Let me teach a course. Let me teach people how it is to stay calm in difficult situations.
Okay.
And ironically enough, there are people out there like me who haven't been at your level. And I'm like, well, how do I deal with different situations? How do I deal with people who may or may not meet the standard that they said that they was going to meet? And I can take your course and be like, okay, cool. This is how he dealt with it. Okay, this is what right looks like. And this is a glide path that I can take. So those are the things that I think when I was researching, like, ooh, Pastor Burns could really do this. He could do this on his off day and probably put a whole course together.
All right. And Ms. Pfeiffer said she loved Udemy. You can teach anything. Good fit. Okay, so she said that's a good fit. And Dr. Bond said, yes, sir, you said so. And Mr. Brumfield said she loved Udemy as well. So okay, Udemy, we're gonna be checking those out and see, maybe those are the ones that could be making money while I'm asleep.
Yeah, remember, you already wrote books. So if you was to take a book, you already got the book. So that could be that could be the book. That could be the course book.
Yeah.
And then you implement that into one of your courses. And now they have your book reading your course, and they're actually going through all of the checks and balances to make sure they understand what you was talking about, as well as how do you implement that inside practical society. So all of those things can work.
Okay. All right. All right.
And remember, since it's right up your alley, you got it. Like you're not working at doing this. You already have that information. It's just being able to translate it over into a virtual world.
All right. Okay. All right. They definitely could do that. Okay. Exactly. All right. They in on that one. All right. Okay. Well,
I was thinking about you. I'm like, number 7. I know exactly what he is. I know.
So number 7.
Yeah. 7 is complete. 7 is a term of completeness.
All right.
I have to make sure I put that in there. Shouts out to Miss Boom, Mrs. Boom, my sister, because I know she like numbers. So
okay, all right.
All right. Number 8 is a language tutorer. So that's if you spoke English and I spoke Mandarin, you'll be teaching me English. So you could do that online language tutoring.
So now Ms. Pfeiffer was talking about those designers outside the country. She said it's because they have language barriers. And so you saying that you can help them out.
Woo! Yes. Yes, yes. If I had enough time, I could help them out. If I
Okay.
had enough time.
Right. Yeah. I guess, like you say, that it's different gifts for different people. So, somebody definitely has to do it, right?
Yeah.
And so if a person qualify, and I'm sure a person could probably even Google some things on how to be a language tutorer,
Yeah.
you know. So,
And the fun thing about being a language tutor, if you had the time and the patience, remember, it takes patience to teach somebody who's grown how to understand a new language.
yeah.
When you're a kid, it can be second nature, but as you get older, it becomes a little bit harder to learn because your mind is fused into what it is.
Okay.
So if you have patience and you can learn, and the benefit about a person doing it versus a computer is that you can actually go over jargon.
Okay.
So when somebody say, "Oh, that's fly," but this is what fly means, and you can explain it.
Okay. So,
So
Mr.
those
Piper, I
things,
think she got spiritual on her. She said, "You mean I can teach tongues? You can teach them how to tap in. How to open their spirit up to receive."
oh my, oh no,
And
oh
Mrs.
that would be
Brumfield said she
interesting.
tried the English tutor, but the hours were not working for her. So, all
Yeah,
right, all right,
the
okay. So, how many? We got two more to go.
yeah, just two more, two
All
more.
right.
The next one is a personal fitness trainer. Now, a personal fitness trainer, you now this is more of a hybrid. So this is a person who's warming you up to them. And this is something in which I am very interested in. I won't do it myself, but I'm interested in how this will be executed. And I
Okay.
think this is the best way to execute it. A personal fitness trainer typically does the online prep first, like, hey, this is what you should be eating, this is what you should be doing, this is how it goes. And then they meet you to do the physical work, like this is how you're supposed to do a squat, this is how you do on a bench, so they can get you to where you need to be.
Mm-hmm.
The benefit of all of that is that now you have a full trainer without full trainer prices.
Okay.
So you have a person who can help you with your dieting, who can help you with your waist, who can help you with your measurements, and they also are physically there to help you with all your muscle training, the how you run, how you lift, how you breathe, doing all these exercises. So
Okay.
you have an online portion as well as a physical portion,
Mm-hmm.
which I was like, oh man, this now that's a good deal.
Okay. All right. And just listening to you, there's other things can spring off of that. I thought about Latrita. She used to, and she probably still do that. I'm not sure. I haven't inquired as much as I used to. She would help me with the different foods. What has too much sodium in it and what to look for and different things like that. And so when you talk about prepping for fitness, it could be meal preps, maybe writing a manual meal prep or a list of different meals that a person can prep, to begin to help, because that is part of fitness, right? Making sure we're eating the right things, right?
Yeah, that's definitely fitness.
Okay. All right.
And
Um,
I see a lot of benefits in a personal fitness trainer because that way they could be 1-on-1 and then they could be 30-on-1. 30
all right.
on 1 is online, 1-on-1 is when they see you. But the reason why that's beneficial is that I don't need somebody to be in my house. I just need somebody to tell me what I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm physically there 1-on-1, I just need you to tell me how I'm doing it. Is it correct or is it wrong?
Okay.
And then that way I can pay efficiently to what I'm doing and I can assign my time properly.
Okay. All right. Mr. Pfeiffer said Mr. Brumfield was a personal trainer and they was up at 6 a.m. on Zoom doing exercise.
There
All
you
right.
go.
Okay. It sounds like Mr. Brumfield got a couple of these things going on here. Yeah. These side hustles, So she might need to up the tuition a little bit.
Yeah. Hey, if these are all skill sets. So once you become good at your skill set, tell everybody, hey, I'm good at this. This is what I can do. This is what I can do for you. So those things all play a part.
Okay. Awesome.
The last one is a consultant.
Okay.
A consultant is somebody who provides expertise in a specific field like marketing, finance, eating, etc. So when you are an expert in that field, people can hire you to come in and to proof what they're doing and to add your expertise in that value.
Okay. Yeah.
And if you ever saw this, a lot of times when people think of a consultant, they think of a person in a suit comes in and they just give some idea. But not all consultants do that. Some consultants are actually in that field that they're talking about, and they're knowledgeable of that field. It's not just running numbers. It's about being good at what you're doing and being able to move it.
Okay. Well, I know Dr. Barnes is a consultant, and I know she flies all over the country and go and do different things in the different areas that she has expertise in. And so, you know, I get that part. I used to do some consulting. I was a part of a couple organizations that trained me to go into different settings and, you know, help people out with their demographics and how to use those and, you know, different other things. Yeah, Latrita said she still do meal prep. Yeah, you can you know, write some healthy meal plans and then get you what you call these things, a podcast, and begin to, you know, walk through those meal plans. You know what I mean? Because I
Yeah.
know I definitely miss those. I want to get back to that, you know, because those really did help me. And when I don't have one, then I'd be all over the place, you know, with my eating and stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
I do meal prep. I do meal prep a lot. The only thing I got a problem with is forgetfulness. So normally I have been meal prepping for quite some time. Recently, I just had like a bad case of forgetfulness, but it's not because of the food. It's just I just actually forget some things sometimes. So
okay.
I think meal prepping is a wonderful opportunity to assign your food. So if you know that I eat 4 meals a day, assign 2 meal preps. You got your proteins in it, more proteins, a couple carbohydrates. You got your vegetables, and boom, that's 1 meal. Then you got your second meal, which is identical to your first meal, or a little bit. It's different stuff. It just runs in the same course in protein. The course
Yeah,
of action.
I mean, the biggest part of it is being able to, you know, how you know, you do something and then you say, okay, what am I going to eat? You know, and so you know, prepping, you already can get your list, and you kind of know where you're going, and you know what you're shopping for. Instead of a lot of times, I go to the store and I'm like, what do I have a taste for? Okay, I get some chicken and some turkey. What I'm going to eat with that, and you know, but with a prep plan, you'll be able to probably save money.
You
You
do.
know,
You
yeah.
you save quite a bit of money.
Hmm.
I remember back when we was talking about groceries, and I was telling everybody if you buy in bulk, it becomes a lot easier when you buy in bulk. Because once you
Okay.
buy in bulk, you know that you have. When you buy in bulk, this is what you have. So when you meal prep, you be like, well, I got six Cornish hens. I got this big. I got 5 bags of rice. I'm looking at it right now. I got like 5 bags of rice, and you put just you put. Oh, well, I'm gonna give a shout out to a bunch of people. There's a bunch of healthy people that I work with that I look up to when it comes to that. And chicken is easy, rice is easy, and any vegetable is like a 5-minute microwave. So you want to make your meal prep. You want to make your meal plan very simple and easy, unless you like some diehard bodybuilder. Just make it nice and easy. Make it nice and
Okay.
easy.
Well, Mr. Pfeiffer, she said, "Slow down, sir. Don't get my tuition increased." And Dr. Bonds is ready to hire Latrita to do prepping. And so if she get Latrita doing food prep, she just need to get a catalog going so I can order some too. So let's see what time we got. We almost out of time.
Almost got. I
Yeah, we
got
got about 10 minutes left.
okay,
And
and I
so,
got two more slides, and then we're out.
okay.
Okay. And that was the last 10. The next is what are your takeaways? So the takeaways are fairly simple. So everything we discuss, these jobs take typically minimum upfront investment. So it relies heavily on your skill, your knowledge, and your time commitment to get started as well as to succeed. I just want to keep you in mind that even though they don't require a lot of upfront costs, if you want to build a consistent income and be sustainable, you got to invest more time, more effort, and be dedicated.
Okay. now, Lady B, she getting ready to hire Latrina to be the chef. So I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to get some commission on this.
You heard it here first.
Okay, and so you said require upfront investments, and it's about you say skills, knowledge, and time commitment, and I have to look at my notes there because I don't.
So it takes a little upfront investment. Remember, you got to have internet. You got to be able to get online, and you got to be able to commit your time.
Yeah.
But if you got your time, if you commit your time, and you have the ability to get online, if you have any skills, remember, I'm not telling you to learn a new thing. I'm saying you may want to learn something in the same field that you're knowledgeable in. So if you put your skill and your knowledge and your time commitment, these are things that you don't need to go out. I need to learn how to be a book writer. No, you are a book writer. You're just learning how to use the platform correctly to showcase that you're a book writer. And those are the things that will make you, it'll make you quick money to get started.
Okay.
But keep in mind that the second part was just to reiterate, even though these don't take a lot even though these don't take a lot of upfront money, you want to be consistent with them so you can build a sustainable income. And with that, you got to be consistent, and you got to be consistent with your effort, and you got to be determined. Because if you're not dedicated to what you're doing, if you're not consistent, you will lose people just that quickly.
Okay. Well, I always say consistency wins the race, and so you look at the hare and you look at the tortoise, that whole scenario when the hare be running all around in circles and everything, but then the tortoise is just taking his, time, but he keep it on going. The hare wear itself out, take him a nap, and he wakes up and the tortoise won the race. And so it was the consistency of the tortoise that won the race. And so consistency is very important. I see Dr. Barnes said you must be consistent in whatever it is you do. The single characteristic of the successful is consistency. And so that's important.
Yes.
And Latrina chimed in saying that she haven't prepped food for anyone. I plan and prepare my meals. All right, so maybe it's time, Latrina, to start prepping. You got 3 customers already right there,
Oh,
and
yeah.
so all right. Well, this was really good, and it helps us to see that, like you said, the 2 most important things is time and the internet. And so with time and the internet as your, place that you can go shopping in, for, different jobs or different side hustles or different skill sets or things that you want to tap into with time in the internet, you can begin to create some different streams of income. And they may not be millionaire ideas, but when you stack that paper, it stacks up pretty quickly.
Yes.
And I'm like, I forgot who told me that, but somebody said, I've never met a dollar I didn't like. You know what I mean? And so it's so important that we not feel trapped because you work a job and you only get so much and you end up with more month at the end of your money, and your what they say, your money is funny and your change is strange, where you feel like you just locked in. No, there are some things that you can do and to create some side hustles or some quick money, and that can offset you know, what we talked about earlier, if you're using those resources, you know, the coupons, the food pantries, the, you know, different things that we talked about in the beginning, and you take all of those different things and as a combination, you're saving some money. And if you're signing your money and you got your side hustle, you know, that adds up. Now, if you are using these tips and ideas and you're saving money, but you're not putting that money up that you're saving, then you won't see it. You know, it'll just get lost in the wash. But if you are intentional about, you know, stacking that paper,
Yes,
and leaving it alone, you'll find yourself, you know, singing that song, "We in the money, we in the money." Well, listen, we are just about out of time. I definitely don't want to uh, end the show without talking a little bit about our up and coming entrepreneur workshop, Beyond the Walls Entrepreneur Workshop. This is our third workshop. It is awesome, 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 and it is changing lives. I have different people that have come up to me throughout uh, after each workshop and throughout these months, talking about how they are implementing the things that they're learning and how they are changing their lives as well as bringing increase into their lives. And so on Saturday, March 23rd, our next Beyond the Walls Business Network workshop is going to be Funding Your Dreams. And so we have Darvin Moore. He's a financial strategist and speaker. He's coming back. He did a cameo appearance on our first one, and he dropped some nuggets. And we're using those nuggets. Matter of fact, Lady B and I we just got a 0% interest card, and now we're getting ready to flip some things. And you know, like I said earlier, we had a plan to pay some stuff off. That's how we're doing it. And some of the tips that he gave us in that first one. And so this one, he's going to be running this one. He's going to be our facilitator for this workshop, Funding Your Dreams. And so it's bootstrapping and fundraising strategies. And so we're going to be talking about bootstrapping and fundraising strategies. And so that's Saturday, March 23rd at 9 a.m. Registration is $25. And so you want to register. We need you to register. And you can go to dradburns.com/events and you can register today. And you have a workbook as well as lunch is included. And I'm telling you, just the workbook alone, the workbooks are very powerful.
yes,
You know,
sir.
just the workbooks alone is worth a good $50 for the workbook. And then the lunches are good as well. So they 25. So, I mean, just the knowledge and the caliber of people that we've been having to come in, you know, this is like a $1,500 masterclass, you know, and you're getting it all for $25. And so you don't want to miss it. Funding Your Dreams, bootstrapping and fundraising strategies, Saturday, March 23rd, 9 a.m. Registration is $25. Go to dr80burns.com/events and register today. All right. Well, James, got any closing comments?
No, I don't. I just hope we can utilize what we got, see what we can do, and then go out there and make that quick money.
All right. All right.
Or
All right.
get started. At least get started.
Yeah. Yeah. You just got to do it, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You got to do it. I like what Dr. Bond said. She says, start at start.
Mm-hmm.
And then you put the icing on the cake when you said little increments, small adjustments, you know. And so if we begin to make these different small adjustments, you know, I might need to create something where a person can, you know, because I don't know if they've been taking notes or they got all of their notes in different places, but we almost need to create some type of journal-like book where they can pick out of all of the things that they learned from Financial Friday and what 5 things that they're going to put in place. And then how often are they going to do those things so that they can start tracking what they're learning and how they're implementing it because, you know, like most people, once you get off the line at night, you're excited. You got these ideas. You may have scribbled them down, but then tomorrow, lifestyle, lifing, and before you know it, it's another Financial Friday. And so I don't know if you all got your budgets for the year. We went through that. I don't know if you got your money market account, or have you got your CD, you know. And so, you know, we've covered a lot of powerful things that can really put you in a place where you can begin your journey to financial freedom. All right. Yes. Well, I think that's all we have. We got it's 8:30 on the dot. Look at there. Boom, boom, boom. Well, Grinders, go ahead and close us out, James, with you know.
Let us be in unison. God, we thank you for this day.
Yes,
for
Lord.
keeping us and for allowing us to hear what you have given us to tell everybody. Father, continue to be with us, look over us, and as we go, let it be in our hearts and our minds to do what we have learned. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. All right, you all, thanks again for tuning in to another Rise and Thrive Financial Friday. Listen, be intentional and live on purpose. We'll see you on next Friday. Be blessed. Peace.